Yeah, hello, hi. I think it's good to go. So, yeah, hello, and thank you for watching. My name is Mohammed Rizvi, and this presentation here is for my submission for Assessment 3 for DAT 701A Analytics for Business Intelligence. So, today I'm continuing the EGC case study for the Assessment 3, the EGC, the Electronic Manufacturer. It is, which is also based in Munich, that designs, installs, and sells HVAC sound, the security network systems through four stores. That's Frankfurt, Berlin, Hamburg, and Stuttgart. So the CEO calls Miller came to us with one simple question about the market is growing about 8% a year. So why their profit is still falling. So over the next 10 minutes, I will just go walk through the data which I have got in the task 2DA. So let's go with the executive summary here. So I'll just give you the headline first so that everything makes sense. Here, the EGS does not have one single problem here. It has like three that feed each other. First is the revenue growth is being carried by a single store. The company widely revenue only grows like 7.6%, which is below market growth. So the EGC is quietly losing the market. Second here is the engagement problem. It's not spread evenly across the company. It sits in specific job roles, like particularly the back office. And the third, that is not a skill or training problem. I tested that directly and the data ruled it out, which means the fix is the management fix, not a training fix. So I'll just go ahead and let you know with the charts as well. So I have worked I have also checked the staff management workbook in the Power BI, imported five tables like the employee location training, employee training, and the survey. It modeled them out as a star schema with the employee location and training as dimensions and survey and employee training as facts. Before analyzing anything, I just cleaned. Yeah, let's continue. Um, After analyzing with the fact tables and the dimension tables, I have come to the conclusion. Firstly, I cleaned the data here, and what matter is here is that I found a duplicate employee ID, a German category label sitting alongside the English one, and the salary column stored as text duplicated as survey response, two broken key references, and invalid zero on scale. That's only turns on 1 to 7. So let's just go ahead and find out what I have get from the graph. Let's go ahead. As for the first graph, this is the first thing I've looked at. The revenue by the store for the first year, that's 2021 against FY 2022. The light blue bars, as we can see here, are the 2021. The dark blue are the 2022, and the table on the right gives the exact percentage. Here, the differences are the four stories. The Frankfurt is the tall pair of the left. It went about like 13.2 million euros to 17.7 million. That's a growth. I mean, it's a growth from 33.6%. The Steward are the small pair on the right, which grew modestly like 3.7%. But now, as we look here in the middle, the Hamburg fell around 4.9%, and Berlin is like one that concerns me the most, dropped 13.1% from roughly 10.1 million down to 8.8. That's the important part from it. And here the card corner shows that the company total is 7.6% growth. but on paper that really looks fine. But at the market, which is growing around 8%, the EGS is growing slower than the market. That's a big problem here. It is losing share. So, and about that 7.6% is hiding something. I mean, two of the four stores went backwards. I mean, the Frankfurt here is exceptionally here is masking the real decline elsewhere. If Frankfurt has a normal year next year, this chart turns negative very quickly. So that's my diagnostic question here is like, is the decline in Berlin and Hamburg explained by the people or by operation? We need to know that. Let's go ahead with another graph as the to answer that, I will just stop the slicing by store and started slicing by role, which is important because the average job satisfaction by the job category on the 7-point scale. The installation staff scores highest at around 4.4 seals, sit in the middle at about 4.0, and the admin staff are lowest, it at roughly 3.8. But here the gap is not huge, about 6/10 of the point. But the direction is genuinely useful because it contradicts what you had expect. Remember, one of the main customer complaint in the case is like the long installation times. Of course, the obvious assumption here is that the installation team is the weakest link in the company, but the installation team in the most engagement group in the company and the customer feedback separates the presence EGS installation as professionals. So around the installation problem is not the installer, it's their job gets scoped and scheduled, and scheduling in the back office functions, which points us straight at the group scoring the lowest on this chart. So it's a problem from the back office side or the management. We can't know that unless and until here's my diagnostic question for the analytics matter. The descriptive number told us the installation run long. So the diagnostic gut told us to stop blaming the wrong team. Let's go ahead and the next chart where the real insight sits. Here, instead of one satisfaction scores, I have broken engagement into four drivers: organizational communication in blue, in light blue, the team collaboration in dark blue, the career development orange, and the leadership and effectiveness purple. Across the same three rows. Start with the admin on the right and team collaboration is fine at the 4.2, career reasonable at 4, organization communication at 3, leadership effectiveness at 3 as well. Those are the two lowest bars anywhere on this chart. So think about what admin actually does at AGCs. Order processes, delivery coordination, scheduling install. This is the role that runs entirely on communication. And the people doing it are telling us that the credible explanation of this communication, doing it and telling us the communication leadership are broken is directly credible explanation for the delivery delays in Frankfurt and Berlin and for the installation job that runs over. So now at sales in middle sales rate leadership highest of the any group at nearly 4.9%. That's fine, I mean. So they like the manager on the career development, the lowest bar around 3.3, but it got stuck. A demotivated sales team is exactly what you expect to see behind revenue that can't keep up with an 8% growing market. Installation to the left is the healthiest profile. Good communication at 4.2 and the strongest career development at 4.5. So we have now two precise role specific problems instead of one vague moral problem. Next, the testing and training hypothesis here tells that recommending anything to see the alternative explanation, maybe dissatisfied employee, are simply people who struggle, who perform poorly in the training and feel out their depth. This scatter plot tests exactly that. Each dot is one employee. Horizontal axis is their average training grade. Vertical axis in their average job satisfaction. If the theory were true, we'd see an upward slope from the bottom left to the top right. We don't. The cloud is completely flat. Employees scoring 2 out of 7 on satisfaction have almost identical training grades of the employees scoring 6. All the grades sits in a narrow band between roughly 4.0 to 4.9 out of 5. So the correlation is about 0.04, which is effectively almost zero. So this is a negative result. It's important and valuable finding in the whole analysis tells EGS not to spend money on training to fix morale. The capability is already there. The dissatisfaction is coming from the working environment, communication, the leadership, the career paths. And moving forward, about the recommendations, first fix the back office before touching the front line. And communication and leadership scores of around 3.0 are the operational bottleneck behind the delivery installation failure. I'd run 90-day program on the order to dispatch the process with the clear ownership and daily the handover between admin and installation. Second is build a career pathway for sales. They have the leadership, they lack the ladder. Fixing that is far cheaper than replacing a sales team and directly targets the revenue gap. Third, don't buy more training. The scatter plot already told us would be money spent for no return. So, and the fourth is treat Berlin as urgent because at 13.1% revenue fall in a business emergency, and my analysis showed that the cause is operational. Long delivery times and installation overruns, not disengaged staff. And fifth, put all of this on a live Power BI dashboard, delivery days, installation hours, the engagement for job, role by role, revenue per store, the tracked monthly as leading indicators rather than reviewed once a year. Okay, just to close it to overall conclusion, the story is the data is a chain, not a single fault. The weak communication and the leadership in the back office precede delivery delays and installation overruns. Those failure push to cost to serve and to push away the customers. Meanwhile, a sales team with no career path can't capture market growth at 8% and 7.6% headline number really hides the fact that the half the store was shrinking. Uh, that's why the engagement part is that none of these are expensive problems. These are the management problems. And the analysis points to exactly where to start. So I think that's my time, and thank you for being with me. And this is Mama Type Frisbee signing off.